Did you know there's over $33 billion, that's a B, billion, sitting in state governments waiting for you to call? Because it's your money. This is missing money that Americans, don't even know that's available. That's an average of like, $1,200 a piece. Actually, my wife went to just one website and she got $1,700 for her mother. That was just sitting there. See, all you have to do is go to one website and you find it all and they send it to you. Now, another neat thing is gift cards. There's over $40 billion in unused gift cards just sitting out there, right? And it's usually sitting in the state capitals, and they're usually like the Secretary of State or someone like that is in charge of it, and it's just waiting for people to call. And there's companies out there who will charge you money to find it, but you don't have to do that. You can do it yourself, and I'll show you. Listen, I did an interview with one of the Secretaries of State in Pennsylvania, Rob McCord, cool guy. Listen to what he says about this missing money. Don't miss out.
And it's very, very important for the average person watching. If they're just clicking saying,
right.
I check out Lesko.com
right.
because they give me ideas about where to find money. If they're going to listen to nothing else, they should just check out, if it's across the country,
right.
missingmoney.com.
Oh, okay.
They happen to be Pennsylvania residents, in addition to remembering the name McCord.
Right.
They ought to also check out patreasury.gov.
So patreasury.gov is
our website,
with
and you can search, and it's very easy to use. And we have all kinds of people who will help, and we have very high customer satisfaction.
So what's in there now? Explain how money gets
there. So it's any kind of sort of abandoned property, and you abandon property without knowing you're doing it. We were talking before the camera turned on about how most of us who have any kind of government backing of our mortgages,
right.
And usually mortgages get government backing in order to be tradable.
Right.
And so these large mortgage providers want you to
right.
Have it. So they then want you to have a certain amount of equity in the home, but they also want you to have certain types of insurance. Sometimes you build up a property value in that insurance. You sell the house, you forget
right.
you have that value. The mailing maybe goes to your old address. Right. You're never found. That would be an example. An escrow account that you set aside and forget to close down. A last paycheck. A lot of us have multiple jobs before we get our long-term job. We're moving around. A security deposit. A gift card
or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Apartments. A gift card.
Gift cards
Gift
too?
cards go
All
on
the
you.
gift
So we have
cards?
$8.6 million of unclaimed property in Pennsylvania just flowing from gift cards.
So like a Sears gift card might be in there?
Exactly.
Wow.
So first of all, from the consumer point of view, purely for looking for their money and us reuniting their money with them. There's a great national association of unclaimed property administrators, and they've set up missingmoney.com.
That's the website
which is
for all the
fee-free,
states.
right? Which is fee-free.
Right.
You check for the whole country and say, "Gee, do I happen to have any?" And what I'm amazed by, I didn't do this at all until I started running for treasurer. Pretty much every year, I find some more unclaimed property in Pennsylvania.
For yourself?
For myself.
No kidding.
And in Pennsylvania, I give more away to charity than I collect, but meaning of my own personal assets. But it's a very interesting process. We estimate about 1 in 10 Pennsylvanians has unclaimed property. The average claim is $1,200.
The average claim is $1,200
in Pennsylvania.
Wow!
And so it's not
so
just
1 in 10
to,
Pennsylvanians could get an average of $1,200.
Well, the average claim that's made, because a lot of people might check and go, "Well, it doesn't look like I have much," and they might not bother to do the claim.
Right.
And we have to check that there's no fraud. It's not like you just call up and say, "Trust me, I'm Matthew Lesko. Don't you like my voice? Send the check to the following PO box." So there's a certain process you go through, but we have worked hard to reduce the length of time, have cut that more in half since we came into office.
And how big is that fund now?
It's just short of $2 billion.
$2 billion.
And then this is the other thing for anybody watching who's a little bit of a public policy.
And that's just Pennsylvania.
That's just Pennsylvania. It's about $33 billion, I believe.
$33 billion
as a whole. So there's $33 billion out there, about half of which is still claimable. Like a lot of times you have unclaimed property that's both unclaimed and undeliverable. Like you literally can't make out the names, or they don't.
I see.
But usually, if somebody is deceased, they have proper heirs and so forth. Yeah. So it's a process that has been significantly made easier by public entities that are out there. So for free for an American citizen, they are able to do these searches. The way it works is somebody has unclaimed property. Maybe a bank has an unclosed account or whatever. After a certain number of years, 3, 4, 5 years, they're legally obligated to turn that money into the states nationally. This is the national law. Because I owned so many companies coming out of private equity, I thought, gee, I didn't know about this law. I wonder what percentage of business leaders and business owners know about this law. We did actual consumer research and tested business leaders, and we found 92% of business leaders didn't know of the existence of this law. So we've driven up the supply of returns, the capital being through voluntary compliance, just by alerting people that, you know, unbeknownst to you, you're probably not in compliance with this.
I mean, I see.
So they take, sometimes it's money that they're using. Often it's just goods that they're leaving, you know, so to speak, and they're lost and found.
I see. So instead of keeping it in their, you know, basement, they're giving it to you.
Exactly. They give it to us. We process it. We the first of its kind continuous online auction. So unless it's a very scarce good, we auction it off on eBay. Correct? Yep. And
eBay, it's all over.
So you can find all these things on eBay, but in addition, the property then has a cash value, a surrender value. About half the time, people never claim that property. So you can model for about half of all the property you're collecting turns into positive revenue without the distortions that are created either by tax signals or by any kind of debt.
How long are you able to keep it?
In Pennsylvania, it's in perpetuity that they are owed it. So there's never the injustice of saying, well, gee, if I just showed up 6 months earlier, this would have been my money. Now, some states are what they call escheat states, and those states say after 10 years, if we've had it for 10 years and you haven't claimed it, it's ours now.
Okay, so now you got the facts. Well, here's some more facts about that gift card money. This is real money, and it's growing all the time. You know, here out in Colorado, they're talking about even changing the rules on it. Yeah, so they can keep more of it and not give it back to you. So watch this video.
A pretty simple bill, House Bill 1102, that Representative Giroux asked me to take here in the Senate that passed the House. It's designed really to just lift a burden off of small business. And what the bill says is that if as a small business you do less than $200,000 a year in sales of gift cards gross, that you wouldn't have to, after the appropriate 5-year period, give the proceeds of any unused gift cards over to the state unclaimed property fund. And that's pretty important from a couple of levels. One, it's a big headache for a lot of these businesses. Many of them don't even know that it's required, so a lot of them aren't complying with the law because they just don't know that the law exists. Two, as an individual, if you're the one who hadn't used that gift card and then you found it in the bottom of a drawer, after the 5-year period had expired, the business would be in the position of making you go to the state treasurer's office to claim your money, as opposed to just being able to reissue the card or take the card from you at that small business. So that's what the bill does, and I think we have a couple of folks here who understand it a lot better than me, but I'd be happy to try to answer any questions if you have some for me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now you know. Okay, so just go to this website, missingmoney.com. Start there. Don't pay money to anybody who said, oh, they'll find this money for it. No, you can do it yourself. It's public information. So cut out the middleman. Go to yourself. Go to missingmoney.com and get the missing money you have. But actually, you know what to do? Is look for all your friends. Actually, a researcher of mine, she went through and put everybody's name in there and then found the money they have and wrapped them up as Christmas presents. So at Christmas time, she said, well, here's $500 for you. Here's $1,600 for you. Here's $150 for you. And showed them where they could get that money. So that's it. Help your family. Help your friends. Help everybody. And don't let the government just sit on that money. Get it back.